Jesus is God's Son, and when he came to the world, he healed and helped people so they would know what God is like. But Jesus' most important mission was to save the world from sin, all the wrong things that separate us from God. He would do this by dying on the cross. This is how it happened. He was betrayed by one of his disciples and arrested by religious leaders. They brought him to Pilate, who was a Roman government leader. When the religious leaders accused Jesus of many things, he didn't respond. He knew this was part of God's plan for him to die for our sins. When Pilate saw that Jesus hadn't done anything wrong, he wanted to release him. But the religious leaders got the crowd to shout out, "Crucify him!" So Pilate handed Jesus over to be killed on the cross. The soldiers took Jesus' clothes and put a purple robe on him. Then they made a crown of thorns, put it on his head, and put a staff in his hand. Then they fell on their knees in front of Jesus and said, "We honor you, King of the Jews." They were making fun of him. Then they spit on him and hit him. They made a man named Simon carry Jesus' cross as they led Jesus to a hill called Golgotha. Golgotha means place of the skull. That's where they crucified Jesus. While Jesus was on the cross, the soldiers sat down and watched him. They put a sign above his head that read, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." At noon, which is in the middle of the day, everything got really dark. And at 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out from the cross, my God, why have you deserted me?" Jesus cried out again, and then he died. And at that exact moment, the curtain in the temple tore from top to bottom, and there was a big earthquake. Dead people even came back to life. When the Roman soldiers saw what happened, even they said that Jesus must be God's Son. These were the same people that had been making fun of Jesus. A man named Joseph took Jesus' body off the cross and put him in a tomb. Then he sealed the tomb with a big stone. 3 days passed. Then, on Sunday at dawn, Mary Magdalene and another woman named Mary came to Jesus' tomb. Suddenly, there was another earthquake. Then an angel rolled the big stone out of the way. Oh, and did I mention the angel shone like lightning? Kinda scary, but the angel told the women, "Don't be afraid. I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said he would. Come and see the place where he was lying." The women saw that Jesus was gone, and as they hurried to tell the disciples what had happened, guess who they ran into? Jesus! He had risen from the dead. He said to them, "Greetings," and they knew right away it was him. They ran to worship him. He died on the cross, which is really sad, but he did it to save us from sin, which is really happy news for us. Then, by rising from the dead, Jesus proved that he is king and he has power over death. We can celebrate and worship him because Jesus is risen.